What's up, everyone? Nick with IGN here. We're at Gamescom 2026, and we're checking out Total War Warhammer 40K. I'm here with David and Joy from Creative Assembly. How you guys doing?
Yeah, super.
Yeah, great.
Awesome. The 40K universe is gigantic. How can the Total War entry be like a good entry point for people that are interested in Warhammer?
So, I mean, it's a really good entry point because, again, like we've got this wonderful, tutorial experience. We'll take you through the basics of how to play the game, how to get grips with Total War, but then also start to introduce you the lore and the characters, right?
Yeah, we're making the most approachable tutorial that we've ever made before because it is such a complex game.
Yeah.
So we've thought about this right from the start, and we're trying to add things for everyone. So there's going to be something there for someone who's new to Total War, to the whole franchise. There will be something there for returning Total War players as well, and even something there for our 40K fans.
Awesome. So if someone is like, I've always thought it was cool, I've seen like TikTok videos about the lore because there's trillions of them out there.
Of course, yeah.
And they thought, Space Marine's not like my entry point. I kind of want something that's closer to the actual tabletop experience, which is this game. Is there anything you think that they should have to read or watch beforehand, or can they just dive right in?
You don't need to. I mean, if you love the lore, then you will love this, right? The team and everyone has put so much effort into making sure that we are authentic, and we've got a very, very close relationship with Games Workshop, and we're always chatting with them about how to get our features to feel authentic, come through in the right way, and so there's a fantastic relationship there. But you don't need to know necessarily anything at all. Like I said, we've got this tutorial experience that will introduce you to some of the core concepts as you come in, and you can spider your way from there. So yeah, if you love the lore, you'll love it. If you don't know the lore, don't worry, you'll love it. As long as you're into the concept of it, you'll have a great time.
The tutorial is also onboarding people to the lore.
Yeah.
Because it's so big. It's so big, right? You have to start somewhere.
So tell me about that tutorial. Like, how does it prime new players into not only Warhammer, but also Total War?
Total War is such a big and complex game with a lot of strategy involved. So the tutorial is broken up to take you to that strategic point, but step by step. So you will start small, you'll learn how to move around an army on a planet this time, not a flat map. And you get introduced to the new mechanics that's never been in a Total War game before. For example, the fleets. We've not had fleets before, and moving between planets.
So yeah, we've got these kind of like new sort of supporting elements in the campaign. Your fleet really does matter because, of course, that's, like you said, how you'll move between planets, but also it's how you support your armies within the battle, right? So making sure that you have the right units lined up before you go into battle, so you can, teleport your Terminators to the right spot at the right time, or drop pod in and smash through some stuff. You need to make sure that you've teed up your strategy on the campaign layer in order to make sure that your battles are successful. But
yeah, there are other aspects of the fleet as well, right?
Yeah.
Like the orbital bombardments,
Yeah.
which is something else that's tying the campaign to the battle.
yeah.
Right on. So this is the first time anyone's been able to play it outside of just internally. How's the reception been?
It's very exciting. It's been super, honestly. It's been really, really cool. There's three different experiences in here at the moment. So there's the beginnings, the tutorial, the first part of the tutorial. We've got some campaign gameplay as well. And then there is a pretty tough battle for those people that if they get through those bits, or they're already a bit of a TW vet, they can come in and sort of like cut their teeth against it. And it's been amazing to see everyone experiencing the different spectrum of stuff. We've had a few losses on the hard battle. We've had some triumphant wins. It's been really, really cool.
People see the booth and they ask, "Oh, is there a playable demo in there?" And there is, and I don't know. There's a huge queue.
Yeah, I've seen people coming in all morning. Okay, so people are like veterans of Total War, or they played way back in the day and they want to kind of come back into it. What sets this one apart from previous entries?
So there's a lot of explosions and there's a lot of guns. And I mean, so yeah, honestly, I think just the fact that the setting is now in this far sort of like distant fantasy future, where we have these wild, explosive bombardments, we have like crazy spells going off. Just it's so high octane, I think, by comparison to previous Total War. Yet at the same time, the overall scope of it and how you control it is going to feel very, very familiar. So it won't feel distant to a Total War player, but it definitely does, explosive, and we call it emergent chaos, an experience of emergent chaos, right? So there's lots and lots of new stuff to experience.
Yeah, touched on it earlier. We are now in space and we are moving up between planets instead of a flat map, which
Yeah.
makes a big difference.
Yeah. So you'll fight your campaigns across entire solar systems, a part of a larger sort of like multiple campaigns over one galaxy, effectively. So there's this whole massive sequence of campaigns that you'll be fighting. It's huge. It's really exciting.
Awesome. So there's just a ton for returning players to sink into,
Yep.
and for new people to go, oh my god, it's so huge. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
What are you hoping people discover and obsess with over in this game? Like any little bit of lore, some Easter eggs, you know.
So I love orcs. I really, really love orcs.
Mhm.
They're my favorite guys.
Yep.
And all of the factions, we tried to make sure we put in like little bits of love. Basically, that the people that really get and love the lore will say like, oh wow, like there's the attention to detail is there, right? And particularly so for me, for the orcs, we really went in on trying to make sure that we do some fun and wild stuff with them. So like storm boys don't always fly in a straight line. Sometimes they'll spiral off and explode, especially if you kill them mid-flight. The battle wagons can veer off and careen and blow up and all sorts of stuff. We've gone into this sort of concept of having these like systemic and chaotic deaths that can happen basically. So as things die, they can start blowing up and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really fun stuff there. But for the orcs, that feels like absolutely on tee. Their tech is haywire and it doesn't always work.
Mm-hmm.
But when it works, they sort of like fail upwards, So it's a lot of fun to be had with that.
Make sure you pause when you play those battles to really take in the scene there. But I think another thing that people will maybe obsess over is how you can make this your own. You can make it your own story. It starts with customization. You get to pick your name, you pick your colors, pick your emblem, and it's yours. It's your story.
How deep are you getting into the lore? For people that are like, I am a Warhammer purist, like what,
So I think we're trying to represent the lore as authentically as we can, and that comes down to scale as well, right? So when it comes to like size of units, I think a lot of people look at this and without knowing about Warhammer 40,000, they go, oh look, like the Space Marines look small, right? And it's like, well, yes, because there's very, very few of them. They are like the thinnest blue line holding back, like the worst threats in the galaxy. And when you play as them, your units are going to be small, right? There's up to 10 in a squad. Terminators will be coming in only like 5. But then you have that wild asymmetry where obviously, Astra Militarum, the guards and the orcs, they come in the hundreds, right? So that difference in scale, I think, is like a really key sort of like note towards getting that lore right and that scale right. So hopefully we've captured it there. But in the campaign too, obviously there's going to be all sorts of events and things that capture the juice.
Awesome. Okay, so the Stomper is the biggest unit in a Total War game, I'm told.
For now.
Will we see more? What else are we going to see as a series first in this?
The series first. We've integrated Havoc, so we're using physics now to sort of like blow up buildings and do all sorts of exciting stuff there.
Yeah.
We really wanted to make sure that the firepower that you have available to you in this universe is really brought to bear and represented properly, and that means that those buildings can't stay there. Those trees can't necessarily stay there, right? You have to blow them up. So we put a lot of work into making sure that you can do these like exciting and bombastic things. Really tear apart the battlefield when you start dropping in your bombardments. And
it's probably a little early for this, but post-release support, are we going to see more factions, more planets? What can we expect?
Well, there's a lot to work with there, right?
Mhm.
Warhammer 40,000 is huge.
Yeah, but we want to do it all. I mean, we want to do as much as we can, right? Like, obviously. So with Warhammer previously, we did as much as we possibly could, and we're going to do the same thing again, right? Like we want to try and capture absolutely everything. There's whenever we talk about the factions that are in the game, we've got our 4 starting factions: Orcs, Astra Militarum, Eldarian, Space Marines, of course. But whenever we talk to anyone about it, they're like, "That sounds great. When's my faction coming?" And it's like, "It's coming. Don't worry. We're going to work on it." So yeah, System of Battle, Chaos, all of that. It's Necron, Tau. We're going to get them in. We're going to get them in.
I was going to say, any Chaos Space Marines yet?
Chaos are very, very important, and they are going to be there.
Awesome. So when can people find out more about the game, release date, anything like that?
We're looking at next year.
Okay. Awesome.
That is when we are looking for that. And we are going to be doing a closed beta, I believe, later this year as well. So please do sign up for that as well, and do come along and get involved. That's going to be the first sort of like, real, true public taste of the game. So yeah, jump in and get involved.
Awesome. Well, thanks a ton. And there you have it, David, Joy. Really appreciate it. I'm super excited for the game when it comes out next year. Just really stoked to see more. For everything Gamescom, Warhammer, and Total War, stick with IGN.